The Steducentre 2015 Grade 7 A&A Exam Review, Maths. Part 1. Question 1.1. The lowest common multiple of 5 and 7 is A. 5, B. 35, C. 12, or D. 7. A multiple is a number that may be divided by another a certain number of times without a remainder. So if you look at your 5 times table, you have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. With your 7 times table, you have 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42. The lowest common multiple of 5 and 7 is B, 35. An easy way to identify it is to multiply 7 times 5. Question 1.2. In 6x plus 2, the variable is A, 6x, B, 6x plus 2, C, x, or D, 6. A variable is a quantity that may change within the context of a mathematical problem or experiment. Typically, we use a single letter to represent a variable. The letters x, y, and z are common generic symbols used for variables. In 6x plus 2, the variable is C, x. When you look at an algebraic expression, you could have a constant, which is a number on its own, a variable, which is the x and y's, a coefficient, which is the number before your variable. If you had one term, you would have had a monomial. If you had 2 terms, you would have a binomial. If you had 3 terms, you'd have a trinomial. Question 1.3. 32 written as a product of its prime factors is A, 1 times 32, B, 2 times 16, C, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, or D, 2 times 4 times 4. A prime number is a whole number which can only be divided by itself and 1. A prime number must have exactly 2 factors. From 1 to 100, these are the following prime numbers: 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, 37, 41, 43, 47, 53, 59, 61, 67, 71, 73, 79, 83, 89, and 97. A factor that is a prime number is prime numbers that when multiplied give the answer, the product, or the original number that you're looking for. For example, the prime factors of 15 are 3 and 5. 3 times 5 is equal to 15, and 3 and 5 are prime numbers. A product in math is defined as the answer of an equation in which 2 or more variables are multiplied. In other terms, a product is an answer to a multiplication problem. So 32 written as a product of its prime factors is C, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Question 1.4. What percentage is 1,200 of 5,000? Is it A, 24%, B, 50%, C, 38%, or D, 12%? Percentage means out of 100. When you are working on a calculator and you want to find 39% of 82, you change the percentage to a decimal, so 0.39 times 82, and you will get your answer. If you want to move from a fraction to a percentage, you have 15 over 20 and you want to work out the percentage, you need to get the denominator to a base of 100. So what you do to the bottom times 5 to get to 100, you will do to the top times 5 to get to 75 over 100, which is 75%. Or you will take 15, the part, divided by 20, the whole, and you'll multiply it by 100 to get to 75%. If you are increasing your percentage, for example, if you wanted to increase 50 pounds by 12%, you'll work out 12% of 60, which is 0.12 times 60, changing it to a decimal and multiplying. This will give you £7.20. You'll then add the new amount. So 60 plus 720 is equal to 67.2, increasing by 12%. If you needed to decrease by 12%, you will again work out 12% of 60, You'll convert it into a decimal, 0.12 times 60, which will give you 7.20 pounds. The new amount will be 60 pounds, subtract the 7 pounds 20 to give you 52 pounds and 80 cents. If you are working with percentages without a calculator and they ask you to find 50% of a number, find half of the number. If they ask you to find 25%, you find half and then half again. If they ask you to find 75%, you find half and half again, and then you add the two. If they ask you to find 10%, you divide by 10. If they ask you to find 5%, you find half of the 10%. And if you have to find 20%, you find the 10% and then double it. So the percentage of 1,200 of 5,000 will be A, 24%. You can say 1,200 over 5,000. Work out what the division sum is by getting rid of the zeros, and you end up with 12 over 50. And then you can convert the denominator from 50 to 100, working out that it is 24 over 100, which is 24%. 1.5. What is the value of 3 minus k over 2 if k is equal to 4? Is it A4, B1, C2, or D minus 2? The correct answer is going to be B, 1. What you do is you substitute the 4 wherever you see a k. So 3 minus 4 over 2, which makes it 3 minus 2, which is equal to 1. Question 1.6. A quadrilateral in which all four sides are equal is called A, rectangle, B, parallelogram, C, rhombus, or D, kite. It is very important to know the properties of your 2D shapes. You need to know the types of triangles. For example, there's an equilateral triangle where all angles equal to 60 degrees and all sides are the same. There's an isosceles triangle where two sides are the same and therefore two angles are the same. And a scalene triangle where all sides and all angles are different. You also need to know the different types of quadrilaterals you have. There's a parallelogram, rhombus, rectangle, square, trapezium, or kite. The quadrilateral where all four sides are exactly the same is a rhombus or a square. In the question that was asked, your option is C. A set of points with a definite starting point and no definite end point is called A, line segment, B, ray, C, straight line, or D, perpendicular line. The following geometrical terms need to be known. A point is an exact location on a plane. A line is a straight path on a plane extending in both directions with no endpoints. A line segment is a part of a line that has two endpoints and thus has a definite length. A ray is a line segment extended indefinitely in one direction. So, your answer for a set of points with a definite starting point and no definite end point is called B, a ray. In the above figure, YX and ZY are A, perpendicular line segments, B, parallel line segments, C, intersecting line segments, or D, vertical line segments. We need to know much about lines. There are horizontal lines that go across, vertical lines that go down, parallel lines, they run in the same direction and never cross. They are perpendicular lines, and at their intersection point, they create a 90-degree angle. So in our figure, the answer is B, parallel lines for WX and ZY. Question 1.9. The perimeter of a regular pentagon with one side equal to 5 centimeters is A, 25 centimeters, B, 5 centimeters, C, 35 centimeters, or D, 30 centimeters. A pentagon has 5 sides. It's a regular pentagon, so they are all equal. What is a perimeter? The perimeter is the distance all around the outside of a 2D shape. So the pentagon that has 5 sides will have 5 sides. So it will be a total of 25 centimeters. Your answer will be A. Question 1.10, we have X and Y. For your x, your numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4. For y, your numbers are 4, 5, 6, 7. The relationship between x and y is A. Y is equal to 5 times x. B. Y is equal to 3 times x. C. Y is equal to x plus 4. Or D. Y is equal to x plus 3. Number patterns have a relationship with each other, something in common that works for the whole pattern. In this case, the pattern is increasing by 3, from the first line x to the bottom line y. Always check that the pattern works. The relationship between x and y is D. Y is equal to x plus 3. Question 2.1. Calculate without using a calculator. Show the calculation steps we needed. 2.1.1 1,643,844 plus 262,206. 1,643,884 plus 262,206 will give you 1,906,090. You will say, starting with the units place, 4 plus 6 is equal to 10. Put down the 0, carry the 1. 8 plus 0 is equal to 8, plus the 1 that was carried is equal to 9. 8 plus 2 is equal to 10, put down the 0, carry the 1. 3 plus 2 is 5, plus the 1 that was carried will give you 6. 4 plus 6 is 10, put down the 0, carry the 1. 6 plus 2 is 8, plus the 1 that was carried is 9, and 1 plus 0 is 1. Question 2.1.2. 6,517 divided by 31. 6,517 divided by 1. What you could do is look at your 31 times table. So you'll have 31 times 1 is 31. 31 times 2 is 62. 31 times 3 is 93. While 31 goes into 65 2 times, remain the 3. 31 goes into 31 1 times, remain the 0. 31 can't go into the 7, so my remainder is 7. So your answer is 210 remainder 7. 2.1.3 315 times 236. 315 times 236. You'll start off with the 6. 6 times 5 is 30. Put down the 0, carry the 3. 6 times 1 is 6, plus the 3 you carried is 9. 6 times 3 is 18. Then you put the 0 for the tens place. And you're now working with 30 times 315. 3 times 5 is 15. Put down the 5, carry the 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus the 1 that is carried is 4. And 3 times 3 is 9. Then you're working with 200 times 315. So you'll put down the 2 zeros to account for the hundreds place. Then you can go 2 times 5 is 10. Put down the 0, carry the 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus the 1 that was carried is equal to 3. 2 times 3 is 6. And then you will add 0 plus 0 plus 0 is equal to 0. 9 plus 5 plus 0 is 14. You'll put down the 4, carry the 1. 8 plus 4 plus 0, plus the 1 that was carried is 13. 1 plus 9 plus 3 plus 1 is equal to 14, and 6 plus 1 is equal to 7. So your answer will be 74,340. Thank you for watching the Steducentre, turning ordinary learners into extraordinary leaders.